This whole remote thing, like remote work is all very new. Like this became very popular in 2020. I mean, I'm fully remote and I mean, if I didn't have like close friends or relationships outside of work, like it would be terrible, especially if you live alone. And it's like and also too doing this podcast for 3 years, doing like remote stuff like this and in-person podcasts, there's a big difference. And like I don't think people really understand that difference. And we're doing stuff remote is nice because like we can be in different time zones like we are and still have a conversation without me buying a plane ticket or you buying a plane ticket, but there's a big difference. And so what do you know about that difference between like the remote and in-person meeting?
Listen, I also work remotely, and I can tell you as somebody who has done both, I mean, I have to think I have to put a lot of effort into my relationships that are not I mean, I'm a solopreneur, right? So I have like a couple people on my team who help me, but it's small. And again, we're in different life stages. We're in like we're not friends outside of it's nice to have the connection, but we're all remote. None of None of us live in the same place, and I can tell a huge difference between what it's like to be virtual versus what it was like to go into the office. I mean, I don't actually think we need to explain this to people that much. I think we know. The tricky part is if you've never gone into the office, then we are something I think a lot about is the kind of frictionless life, the frictionless virtual life that a lot of us lead. And so it can feel like it can feel really nice to be like, wow, I can be like, professional on the top and party on the bottom and like have sweats on and nobody will know. And I don't have to, pack a lunch for myself to go into the office or whatever it is. Like, sure, there are all of these conveniences, but what do we give up when we opt in to just convenience? Now, this is what we see. I mean, you can talk about it working virtually, but you can also talk about it about how much time we're spending online, right? And how much we expect our virtual experience, whether it's dating, whether it's shopping. I can literally think of a brand and it shows up on my algorithm, right? Like there is nothing in between me and the ease of which my virtual life can occur. We can hop on here, be in different time zones, like you said, and here we are just like that. Never having met before, like all of that is so we can get groceries. Like we've now built into the fabric of our culture is ease and frictionless virtual experiences. But what happens now when we get into relationship, when we get into partnership, when we now have to go into the office, it doesn't really matter what we're talking about, but now you have to get in your car. Now you have to be in traffic. Now you have whatever the friction may be. My focus is on romantic relationships and repair in relationships. So I think about it a lot in that context, which is okay. You can date online. That was really easy. I now have parasocial relationships where I look and I think, wow, that's really easy. And now that doesn't mimic my relationship at home. All of a sudden there's way, way more friction in my relationship at home. But somewhere inside me believes that that friction is wrong because it doesn't mimic the friction that's happening in my day-to-day life online, or the lack of friction happening in my day-to-day life online. And so now I'm with my partner or I'm with a friend and we get into a fight. And now that fight happens weekly. Maybe we're fighting all the time after we've hit a certain stage in a relational dynamic. Maybe now we're sweeping that fight under the rug or however we're dealing with it. And internally we are in so much pain because we don't understand that what healthy love or what healthy relationships actually look like because of how little they mimic a virtual experience.